Effie is nearby, clapping her hands. Attention, attention, everybody. We're about ready to do the first outdoor shot, where the victors will greet each other at the beginning of their marvelous trip. All right, Katniss, big smile. You're very excited, right? I didn't have to exaggerate when she shoves me out the door. For a moment, I can't quite see right because of the snow, which is now coming down in earnest. Then I make out Peeta coming through his front door. In my head, I hear President Snow directive. Convince me. And I know I must. My face breaks into a huge smile, and I start walking in Peeta's direction. Then, as if I can't stand it another second, I start running. He catches me and spins me around, and then he slips. He still isn't entirely in command of his artificial leg, and we fall into the snow, me on top of him. And that's where we have our first kiss in months. It's full of fur and snowflakes and lipstick, but underneath all that, I can feel the steadiness that Peeta brings to everything. And I know I'm not alone. As badly as I've hurt him, he won't expose me in front of the cameras, won't condemn me with a half-hearted kiss. He's still looking out for me, just as he did in the arena. Somehow the thought makes me want to cry. Instead, I pull him to his feet and tuck my glove through the crook of his arm and merrily pull him on our way. The rest of the day is a blur of getting to the station, bidding everybody goodbye, the train pulling out, the old team, Peeta and me, Effie and Haymitch, Cinna and Portia, Peeta stylist, dining on incredibly delicious meal that I don't remember. And then I'm swathed in pajamas and a voluminous robe, sitting in my plush compartment, waiting for the others to go to sleep. I know Haymitch will be up for hours. He doesn't sleep when it's dark out. When the train seems quiet, I put on my slippers and pad down to his door. I have to knock several times before he answers, scowling, as if he's certain I've brought bad news. What do you want? He says, nearly knocking me out with a cloud of wine fumes. I have to talk to you, I whisper. Now, this better be good. He waits, but I feel certain every word we utter on a capital train is being recorded. Well, he barks. The train starts to break, and for a second I think President Snow is watching me and doesn't approve of my confiding in Haymitch and has decided to go ahead and kill me now. But we are just stopping for fuel. The train is stuffy, I say. It's a harmless phrase, but I see Haymitch's eyes narrow in understanding. Oh, I know what you need. He pushes past me, lurches down the hall to a door. When he wrestles it open, a blast of snow hits us. He trips out onto the ground. A Capitol attendant rushes to help, but Haymitch waves her away good-naturedly as he staggers off. Just want some fresh air, only be a minute. Sorry, he's drunk, I say apologetically. I'll get him. I hop down and stumble along the track behind him, soaking my slippers in snow. As he leads me beyond the end of the train, so we will not be overheard, he turns on me. What? I tell him everything about President Snow's visit, about Gale, about how we're all going to die if I fail. His face sobers, grows older in the glow of the red taillight. Then you cannot fail. If you could just help me get through this trip, I begin. No, Katniss. It's not just this trip, he says. What do you mean, I say. Even if you pull it off, they'll be back in another few months to take us all to the games. You and Peta, you'll be the mentors now. Every year from here on out. And every year they'll revisit the same romance and broadcast the details of your private life. And you will never be able to do anything but live happily ever after with that boy. The full impact of what he's saying hits me. I will never have a life with Gail, even if I want to. I will never be allowed to live alone. I will have to be forever in love with Peta. The capital will insist on it. I'll have a few years, maybe, because I'm still only 16, to stay with my mother and Prim. And then, do you understand what I mean? He presses me. I nod. He means there's only one future. If I want to keep those I love alive and stay alive myself, I'll have to marry Peta. Chapter 4.